Hey guys.
Hey, happy whatever day it is.
Yeah.
Because they all end in day. Did you realize that? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, today we're
Today. El Kadah.
we're talking about the black.
That's
death.
every day.
Okay, so we're talking about the Black Death.
What can I just say? What a time to talk about the Black Death.
I know,
because everyone compares it to COVID, but today you're going to prove that it's not. That it was more intense than COVID.
Well,
that's what you said in your last.
Yeah.
But everyone compares it to it, honestly.
I mean that, or the
plague,
flu, or something like that.
No, I feel like a lot of people say the plague.
Oh, okay. Well, Black Death is very different than Black Death. But let's get going and learn about the Black Death. Yeah. So, the Black Death, the bubonic plague or Black Death was kind of its technical name is bubonic plague, but most people call it the Black Death.
Does bubonic mean something? Bubonic?
I don't think so. I think it might just be the name of the bacteria or something. That's a good question. I'm not too certain. It basically would decimate the world at large, the whole Eastern Hemisphere. So Asia, Africa, Europe, pretty bad in the 1330s to 1350s. But probably the worst was probably Europe, with Asia pretty close. It probably started in China or Central Asia. They're not too certain of where it started. And they're actually a little bit less certain about what it was than they were before. It's a very interesting thing because they don't seem to have nailed it down as well as you would think for this disease, having hundreds of years to figure out what this thing is.
But it just came and then it went away forever?
No, there's still some things of it. I went to high school with a kid
who had the Black Death? No,
whose dad worked at a place where they treat diseases and stuff like that, and they had it frozen in his office. So.
But they know how say the Black Death started, they would know how to stop it? Yeah,
they would figure out. I mean, it's kind of like the COVID thing.
They have not figured it out yet.
Yeah.
But this says bubonic is causing or characterized by swollen, inflamed lymph nodes in the armpit or groin.
Oh, wow. So it means that swollen things in the groin area. That's happy. It was spread from fleas, and these fleas traveled on the backs of rodents, so rats usually or mice, and they would live off them, and they would have the disease with them, and then they would bite humans, and the humans would then get this disease. Symptoms would usually have a fever, you'd have chill, gangrene, which is like when your fingers start things. You'd swell, and then you'd probably usually die pretty soon. It's very contagious too, so if you had it, you could give it to someone else very fast. At the time, they called it the Great Pestilence, or the Great Plague. And it wasn't really called the Black Death in the 19th century, but the idea of, is a black, just like Dark Ages, kind of means bad, right? Kind of means, obviously that's racist to say, it does not mean bad, but I'm just saying the reason they called it black was because the connotation that they thought that black was bad, which is very racist, but that's where it got its name. So it has a racist roots in its name.
It does, which is not good. But in history class, you have to know all the racism that was there. It's important to learn that so we never do that ever again.
Mm-hmm. I think they should call it the Dark Death, but maybe that just doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Maybe that's right. The Dark Death. Anyways, so this would come around and this would be killing lots of people. And this is a quick map to see where that spread. So you can see it starts in Asia, goes down from Asia, goes into Europe, and then 1300s, 1350s. You can see it kind of has a perfect route traveling along these trade routes. The Silk Road and other things that's spreading into Europe and Africa, all the way across Asia. And wherever it went, lots of people died. Lots and lots of death.
But did it take longer? Because now we have people who are flying on airplanes.
Yeah, now it would be way faster.
But now
and stuff, Back then, But one of the problems is though that they kind of suspect is that the Mongols were alive during this time, and the Mongols were a big empire that ended up uniting this whole area. And so they think because they united it and it was all at peace, people were able to travel really easy in this area, which made it spread way faster than it would have. So they kind of blame the Mongols partially for the bubonic plague.
Man, that's not nice.
Obviously not all their fault because, disease and rodents and stuff like that, but still.
So it carried and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
So
how long did this last?
So it would come in waves. So it's literally it would happen first, and then a generation would come up that was resistant to it. But then the next generation wouldn't be resistant, and it'd sweep through again and kill lots of more people.
So it'd be like your grandparents, and then could you get the Black Plague but then not be asymptomatic?
I don't know if you're asymptomatic. I'm not sure about that. I don't think so, but I knew you could live sometimes if you got it. So
it wasn't always death.
It wasn't always death, but lots of times it was. And we'll see. The human cost, it killed between 75 to 200 million people. So put that in perspective, the coronavirus is not even at 1 million, I believe. I don't think the coronavirus has even killed 1 million people. and this is at 75 to 200 million people. Approximately 1/3 of the people in the Middle East died, and 1/2 in Europe died. In some areas, it would get as high as killing 2/3 of the population in towns in Europe. So, if our class has 15 kids in it, that means that 10 students could die with the Black Plague.
This says 898,000.
Okay, so it's not even at 1 million deaths yet, yeah. So imagine coronavirus except 200 times as worse.
Wow.
So massive deaths. And they didn't have any idea what to do. They didn't know that washing their hands or anything could help. And so they had these mass graves, and that's what this picture of it's where they just basically toss a bunch of dead bodies in this pit to die, to decompose, because they didn't know what to do with it. And they didn't want to be contagious. They knew enough to say if they're sick, you should stay away from them, so they would quarantine them. So then they just kind of toss them far away from the city, their bodies, because they didn't want to spend that much time handling it, because then you might catch the disease yourself. So yeah, massive human cost. It's unbelievable to think 1/3 of the people could die in the Middle East, and 1/2 of the people in Europe died.
That's insane.
Just think about your family. If you're like anyone's family, with your family, half of your family just dead in a matter of months.
Does that mean you think that if there wasn't the Black Plague, would there just be like so many more people on the earth?
Yeah, actually, we're going to talk some about that. But there are some. Black Plague was terrible, but it had some really good consequences as well. And it's actually one of the reasons
for the earth.
Well, yeah, because people gained more freedom, and there was more competition, and we'll talk about it. But basically, it's one thing that takes feudalism down. But we'll talk about it when we get to that. Explaining the plague, they didn't really know what caused it, right? They didn't know that there were fleas traveling on these things, and they blamed it on lots of different things. Some blamed it on the Jews, and they committed genocide by killing thousands upon thousands of Jews.
Can you explain what genocide is?
Genocide is when you target an ethnicity, so you target all, for example, let's say in Suriname, you target all the, you found the white people and you just murdered all of them, right? That'd be genocide. You're picking out a race, which is totally wrong. Definitely wrong.
Or Americans. It wouldn't be white people, right?
Well,
Because like Dutch and Americans.
It would be an ethnicity. So it might be Europeans or it might be Americans, but yeah.
Yeah.
The idea is this one ethnicity. So they do that with Jews, killing a bunch of Jews. Some of them, too, thought it traveled on cats, so they killed all the cats, which just meant that there was more rats to carry the disease, so it kind of backfired on them. They really had no idea what it was, and some of them thought it was punishment by God, and this is what they're doing. They're whipping themselves to kind of feel pain.
Oh, I read that.
Yeah, because they wanted to say that they had they punished themselves to, like, oh, I feel so bad, I'm going to hurt myself, which has absolutely zero biblical truth or background in it. So
no.
A wee bit on the crazy side. By a wee bit, I mean quite a far bit over.
But is this still when the Bible was in Latin?
Yes, yeah. All right, so what you're going to be looking at in class when we get to it is we're going to be talking about how people understood the Black Death in the 14th century, what they thought caused it, how they put reason to it. It's actually a very interesting topic. But yeah, we'll be doing that in class. Right now, what we're going to be doing before class is we are going to be talking about Mrs. Magera's
tea, but it's not tea, it's a caramel thing. We did this last 3 videos. I've been drinking this drink because it's the same night. Sorry, guys. We didn't.
This is a different class. They don't know that.
Oh, what class is it?
This is 10th grade.
Hi, guys. Okay, this is my caramel frothy situation because I didn't have time to make tea. I didn't realize that it was a different class. Hi, guys. I feel like, hi, Mom. What was I saying? Oh, my tea. So, the Black Death it's really freaky. Like, and COVID is absolutely horrible, and it's horrible that it's affecting everyone. But when you like research the Black Death, you're like, 2/3 of the people, like every 2 out of 3 people died from it. Like, that's just so insane to me. Like, there's 3 people in our family, 2 people done. That's insane to me. Anyway, so I looked up, I was seeing like how would they prevent it, because again, like Mr. Magera was saying, they didn't know a lot about what it was coming from. They didn't have a lot of information. So how do you think you probably know?
They probably did lots of religious things.
They did a lot of
nice things. I know that.
Yes, it was like essential oils. Like, I don't know if you guys, that's a big craze in America. I don't know if it is here. We have a diffuser that we actually diffuse essential oils because I think they smell nice. But a lot of people,
not because of any so-called healing.
No, but I will say this: when I was pregnant, the lavender and peppermint really helped with my nausea.
Yeah, but that's a smell thing. That's not.
Yeah, it's a smell thing. But anyway, some people think it can like is that it's better than vaccines. It's a whole thing. Anyway, but back then they thought that it could cure the plague. And so they would like put it in handkerchiefs and walk around like this. But they like didn't know what they were doing. But it's funny, the Pope, he was very scared. He was like apparently very, very scared of this. So what he did was they thought it was in the air, and it wasn't in the air. It was traveled by bugs or whatever. But they thought that it would travel in the air like a cloud. So it would sweep over a town. That's what they thought. And so what they would do is they would do these huge bonfires to try to purify the air. So what the Pope did is he would like sit there and he would have 2 burning huge bonfires next to him. He would just sit right in the middle of them, and that's what he would do, and he lived. No joke. But then they found out later that he actually does kill it, so it was actually a really smart thing.
Oh, because of the heat he was around, but it wasn't because of the air thing. That's
No,
smart.
it wasn't because of the air, but it actually did kill the virus, and so it was smart.
Yeah.
But
And
not for the reason they
probably
thought.
because he was sitting in front of 2 giant burning things.
In between them.
He was pretty isolated too, so there probably wasn't anyone going up to infect him.
Yes. So that was really insane.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was some pretty good tea, I gotta say.
I mean, it's depressing though. This is a very depressing topic.
Yes,
so you guys, I hope you do something fun that gets your mind off of the Black Death.
Well, but still remembering everything you've learned about it.
Oh yeah, still remember all of it, but like, go hug your dog. Who's in 10th grade? Do I know anyone? No, Lulu's not in 10th grade. Who has a dog? Andy loves dogs. I don't know if she has a dog though.
Okay. Well, bye guys. Oh, Richard has a dog.
Oh, Richard, you have 2 dogs. Go hug Batman and Robin.
All right, bye guys.